On this Ask Whitetail Instinct, we're talking about a bunch of buck bedding questions and what we look for in a piece of public land that we're going to hunt. So we'll get right to the questions here for this Ask Whitetail Instinct, but as always, if you have questions, drop them in the comments below on our YouTube videos, on any YouTube video, DM us on social media or on a social media post, and we'll get it here so we can answer it here on our Ask Whitetail Instinct. But we'll start with some of our buck bedding questions, how we hunt buck beds. This first question is from Samantha Brenzel, and I'm just going to read it word for word. If you come back to scout that area in the fall, this was about a scouting video that we did, and we'll link that above. So if you had found some buck bedding and we're going to come back and hunt it. So if you come back to scout that in the fall, will you do a scout/hunt where you bring stands back with you and just set up on the hot sign, or would it be more of just a speed scout as you come in and you don't have to carry anything?
If we already found the beds that we're going after?
So yeah, I guess I'll explain the situation better. In the video, you had gone in spring scouting, found a buck bedding area that you liked. What's your, I guess, basically your next step going in? Are you just going to go right to that spot and hang? Or are you going to kind of scout your way in with a stand on your back, looking for hot sign near that area?
There's a lot of going into this one. So the first thing is that a lot of it would have started when we scouted. So I would have found my tree when I did the previous scouting.
If you found the bed.
If I found the bed, I'm finding a tree to hunt out of the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that when I'm going in this time with the stand on my back, I'm going to that tree and I'm hunting over that bed in the spot I found.
Mm-hmm.
But while I'm going in, I'm not just walking, especially if I'm looking and scouting as I go in. So if I hunt over this buck bed and I don't see anything, now I have other information of stuff I've seen on the way in. And then if I hunt over that bed and I see him walking 100 yards that way, well, now I'm going to move.
Mm-hmm.
So the hunting started when I scouted, because I found my tree stand when I found the buck bed, which is important, so I know right where to go and how to get in. I'm scouting as I'm going in, but still, unless something really jumps out of me, I'm going to that tree that I already found, but I'm keeping track of all the information of all the things I've seen on the way in.
Yep, and it depends. Like if you're going in to hunt this spot for the first time and it's October 25th, you might be going in more to scout your way back into that bedding area. Because if you're walking in, you see a rub line, you see a fresh scrape, then you might go, okay, I'm going to stop right here and hunt on this scrape because I know he's bedding here, fresh scrape, probably coming out to it. So it depends on the time of year, and you sometimes might see some sign that makes you say, I'm not going to go any further, I'll start here, and then work my way back in.
Yeah, and so don't be afraid to change it when you go in, but know that you were going in there the first time for a reason, and not because that bed was there. But if you get there and you're like, man, there's a tree stand there and I see boot tracks, probably got to keep going. So always be fluid, but know that you were originally going there because there was a buck bed and there was a reason you liked it. But don't be afraid, like you said, you come across that big scrape and all that stuff, don't be afraid to change it, but be fluid, but know you were going in there for a reason.
So we'll move on to our next kind of buck bedding question. This is from David Horst. Do bucks still bed by themselves over the summer when they are what people call in a bachelor group?
I mean, I think that's kind of a buck-dependent question
it's kind of,
as well, because it kind of, I know a lot
We're not going to have a right or wrong answer here. Essentially, it's basically our kind of opinion.
Because I know there were some that our buddy Drew was seeing last year, close to the area you shot yours, and I know they'd always come out together, but I guess that doesn't always necessarily mean they're bedded together. I'd imagine they're close, but bucks are still, for most of their...
fairly lonely creatures.
Yeah, for the majority of their day, I feel like they're still... Not that I might not be able to see you clear over there or know that if I'm a buck, not that I can't see you clear over there and know that you're over there, but still kind of be by myself. So I feel like maybe they're close, but they're still not like a doe group where I'm here and you're there, and we're all looking and we're like touching each other.
That was my response back, and the way I thought about it too, is how does will bed like close to each other, almost like back to back in a circle, like within 10 yards of each other in a circle. And I think bachelor groups are similar, but they're spread out. So if you got 3 or 4, there might be kind of right in that area, like you said, but they're 50, 60 yards away.
They're
so
still
they're
covering
together,
things.
but they're not back to back with each other in the same bedroom per se.
Yeah, so they're still covering it. So it's like, hey, you still got it. If someone comes in, if a hunter comes in from that way, you still got that way covered, and I'll have this way covered. But we're still like 40 yards apart.
Like you said, he can see that buck over there, knows you over there, 40 yards away, enough distance. I'll get along with you.
Yeah.
but you got to be over there. So not back to back in a 10-yard circle, but a 100-yard circle. Or
Yeah,
something.
and I'll know when you get up, so I can get up too, so we can go to the soybean field type of
Yep.
thing.
Yep. So not exactly like doe bedding where they're together, but they are together.
Yeah, that's how I
That's our
feel it
opinion.
works. Anyways, I don't know. You guys might go, "No, I've seen two of them laying right next to each other,"
Yep.
and that could be, and so. But that's just how we feel and feel how it works. Anyways.
So the next question here is from Sonny McFall, and he asks, do you have a certain size acreage of public land you will or won't even mess with? Say if it's a property of 1,000 acres or less, is it not big enough, so it must be 2,000 or bigger?
The quick answer to that is no. We'll pretty much hunt anything.
Yeah.
When we were in college, we hunted that one, like, super small, had one little creek bottom in it. We didn't really see much when we hunted. We hunted completely different back then, and we learned a lot since then. But there was huge deer on trail camera there. So, and that was teeny tiny, like 30 acres, if that even. And we've hunted.
And then the trees were only 5.
Yeah, the huntable area was smaller than that. But if it's got bucks on it or buck bedding and it looks good and it has what we're looking for, I'll go sit over it. We don't have a lot of huge properties in Nebraska. So like that 1,000 acres, like probably the biggest thing we've hunted is maybe 1,500.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm guessing, if even that. We just don't, Nebraska doesn't have, at least in our area, really, really huge areas of public land. So ours are small to begin with. We're usually, hunting pressure is a real factor on where the bucks bed because we hunt a variety
600
of
acres
sizes.
or 200 acre type
Yeah,
properties.
I would say most of the ones back that I've been hunting now are probably 200 to, I don't know, 600 maybe. Like they're not huge by any standard, and a lot of them you can eliminate areas pretty quick based on hunting pressure, based on not having habitat, so they hunt a whole lot smaller. But I know that one, called the city property, I don't think you've ever been on it, but you've seen it. I mean, that one's super small, the huntable area on it, because most of it's ag fields. It's a walk-in piece. But, I mean, that is, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 acres maybe is all the huntable area is on it. So we hunt actually pretty small sizes. I know a lot of people talk about hunting small pieces of public land, and then they'll say it's 12,000, or 1,200 acres, and you're like, that's not small, man.
Yeah.
So, but we actually do hunt small pieces of public land.
And so it's really not about the size of the property, and most of the time, especially if you have an area where you've got 5 or 6 small properties where you can find one area on each, then you could just bounce around to them. So even if they're small, especially in your area, there's several small ones, but there's 5 or 6 of them. He just finds one spot on there, he goes there and hunts, sees what it's all about, and goes to the next one.
That's the key thing I've talked about a little bit throughout these scouting videos, is that on the small pieces of public land, I'm looking for the one spot. Like
and that's
the
all there's going to
best
be,
spot
probably.
on that one property. I'm not looking to hunt 3 different stands on it, I'm looking for the best spot, and that's the only spot I'm going to.
And the good thing about those is sometimes you've gone to some and went, nope, not going, because there's too much hunting pressure. Then you just write the whole thing off. And you're done. You eliminate it, and you can move on to other better spots.
You can focus on other ones. So again, it's always, you can at least eliminate it if nothing else. It's always worth a look, in my opinion, no matter how big or how small. Sometimes the bigger ones are harder to hunt because you end up having to break them down into 100-acre chunks anyways because they are so big. So you end up breaking them down into smaller pieces anyways. But we'll hunt any size as long as there's deer on it.
Yep. So that'll wrap up this Ask Whitetail Instinct. Thanks for the people that sent in their questions here. If you have questions, again, as always, drop them down below because we like to answer them. We'll throw them here in these videos. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, hit that subscribe button and the like button if you haven't already. So thanks for watching.